Get that thumbs down ready, Star Wars fan! The Chosen One prophecy was always bullshit, right? I mean, maybe it's my head canon, but I've never put much validity or truth to the prophecy. And I know I'm in the minority when it comes to this opinion. I know, I've been there before. It's cool. I even thought the prophecy being wrong was kind of the point back in the day while watching the prequel trilogy come out. Like, the Jedi, here the Jedi are, powerful, insightful, calm, collected, patient. Yeah, sure. That's how we originally saw them, but the prequel showed that this organization was severely flawed in almost every way. And I always kind of looked at the Chosen One prophecy as just another example of their faults, leaning on this ancient prophecy.
Oh, it was wrong, I think. Oops, Anakin killed everyone. Oops, Anakin's Darth Vader. Oops, Anakin killed the Emperor. Anakin fulfilled the prophecy.
But instead of drawing the conclusion that I drew years ago, and again, my conclusion is canonically wrong, I suppose. Even George Lucas talked about the prophecy and how Anakin is the Chosen One, and if you watch 1 through 6, even when he becomes Darth Vader, he still is the Chosen One. Got it, cool, okay, got it. My conclusion during the release of the prequels, before we had a lot of interviews and kind of context, I suppose, was that the prophecy was just some woo-woo gobbledygook bullshit that some ancient wizards conjured up. It was a part of the Jedi failing, if you will. Outside of the films when it comes to fans and analysis and all that kind of stuff, hell, the past 20 plus years since The Phantom Menace came out, the prophecy of the Chosen One has shifted from timeline to timeline, person to person when it comes to fans. Again, oh, maybe the prophecy is about older Vader Anakin, maybe it's about Luke, maybe it's about Rey, maybe it's about X, maybe it's about Y. And again, Lucas says it's about Anakin. Got it. I personally like the interpretation of the prophecy always being bullshit. Maybe the message was that nothing is set in stone and prophecy is kinda dumb. And self-fulfilling prophecy is dangerous. You gotta make your own destiny. Your fate is not inescapable because your fate has not been determined. And that's how I always saw it. And I find it more interesting than this actual prophecy of the Chosen One that just gets kind of muddied the more you think about it, right? Again, I know I'm canonically wrong. I get it. We all interpret things differently, especially without the aid of hindsight or interviews from the creator back in 1999 to 2005 as these movies were coming out. But yeah, I always viewed the prophecy as the sin of hubris that the Jedi were guilty of, I suppose. I mean, this guy says that the Sith have been extinct for a millennium. Was the prophecy already fulfilled back then, a millennium ago? I don't know. There's been so much debate over the years about the prophecy of the Chosen One, especially years ago on the Force.net forums, even leading into the sequel trilogy and after they were released. Folks on these forums have talked about the prophecy and debated their various interpretations over the years. There's often a lot of mental gymnastics, trying to fit the original trilogy events into the prequel trilogy prophecy explanation. It gets muddy. It gets very blurred. And it often comes off as pretty goofy, to me at least. Jumping through hoops to make it make sense. And all the meanwhile, I've been over here what if the prophecy was just a bunch of bullshit to begin with? What if this was some vague-ass Nostradamus nonsense where people make their modern world fit with whatever was written down in the past? Prophecy. Woo! That's how I've always interpreted the prophecy of the Chosen One. It's always been very wonky to me. Even the official explanations, all the hoop jumping you have to do. And I've always felt like the prophecy of the Chosen One who will bring balance to the Force and its importance has been way overstated. Believing in and leaning on this prophecy, to me, is way more interesting as yet another failing of the Jedi Order, rather than it being some real concrete thing. George Lucas said, quote, Anakin is the Chosen One, and even when Anakin turns into Darth Vader, he is still the Chosen One. The prophecy is that Anakin will bring balance to the Force and destroy the Sith. He becomes Darth Vader. Darth Vader does become the hero. Darth Vader does destroy the Sith, meaning himself and the Emperor. He does it because he is redeemed by his son. So the prophecy is true, and by doing that, he redeems himself and goes from being Darth Vader back to being Anakin again. Everybody thought of Darth Vader as this big evil guy that had no heart. He was just evil, but in the end, he's not that at all. Here's a guy who has lost everything. close quote. I think seeing Darth Vader laying down, unmasked in Return of the Jedi, and you see Sebastian Shaw's face there, this old guy, weak and frail, you kind of get that. You kind of get that at the end of that film, right? It's beautifully put at the end of Return of the Jedi. I think it's all more interesting without a prophecy. It's more of a human story without a prophecy. This man who had a complete fall from grace, who burned down his own worldview, basically, who turned on everyone he knew and loved, and in the end was redeemed. In the end, saw the error in his ways. It's more interesting than a prophecy. But hey, that's just me. Tell me I'm wrong in the comment section below. I'll see you there.